Hey Facebook, hey YouTube, hey Instagram, hey Twitter, hey all the folks. Invite a friend in and let me 1 second, y'all. So I have a special guest tonight. I have a special guest and I'm gonna bring her up. I think you accidentally declined, girl. I think you accidentally declined. Okay. Hey y'all, come on in, tag a friend, tag a friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just figuring out tech right now. There you are. So let me turn down my volume here, and I think we should be good. Okay, and I'm gonna bring you up. So welcome my special guest. Wow. So tonight we're gonna call her Teacher Roby. You may know her as something else. Tonight we're gonna call her Teacher Roby. What we're gonna do before we kick off is, can you guys just please confirm in the comment section that you're able to hear us and see us clearly? And then we're gonna get started. Aww. Yes, I see it. I think you're live. I think you're muted on Facebook. There you go.
Then I should mute here because I just want to make sure So what am I gonna? Oh, maybe I should just lower the volume on my iPad. Is there any feedback now, or can everybody hear me?
Can you guys hear us on both Facebook and Instagram without feedback? Let us know we're good. We just want to make sure you're good.
Yeah, I'm good over here on this
Facebook
side.
is confirming that it can hear us and see us, and there's no echo, right, guys? I love y'all. Look at y'all. Look at y'all confirming and shit.
Beautiful, beautiful. My cousin said it sounds good. What's up, Manny?
Perfect. Hey, cousin. Look at you. Look at them. They're on cue. They're like, Teacher Roby, we hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this to the side.
I love
it. Some of us are saying that they can hear and see, but there is some feedback on Instagram. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. IG has feedback. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna turn down. Can you guys get feedback now on IG, or we're good? I think I can't hear you. How about
right?
now?
I think if I turn up my IG, I think that's why the feedback is coming through, because I can hear you on Facebook and on IG. So I'm just gonna have the IG up, but you can still hear me on Facebook because my mic is not muted. It's good now. Okay,
good
perfect.
Now. Okay. Good. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for confirming. Echo on my side.
Okay.
A little bit.
I swear, technology will always do it for you. They will always,
right?
Like, you can do everything in the world, but you better know how to work it.
Okay, so now they're getting an echo on Facebook. Darn. Because I can't hear her otherwise, y'all.
Instagram for me says that they're good. They can hear us. I'm assuming it's just the Facebook. But we're good on Instagram, though. We're good to go.
Yeah, we're good on Instagram. We're gonna maybe have to pick one, y'all. We may have to pick one.
It's still coming through on Facebook, the feedback?
Yeah.
I'm with whatever you're ready to do.
And they said this from me, so I don't know what to do, y'all.
Are you hearing on two devices or just the one?
No, I'm just hearing on here.
Because what I did, I lowered the volume on the Facebook device, and then I turned up the volume on the Instagram device. And that is where the feedback went away.
What I'll do is I'll mute myself on Facebook. and I'll turn myself up here. But no, they're not going to hear me. That don't make no sense.
The volume on the device, though. So what I mean is like, are you on Facebook on a laptop?
Yeah, but the volume is all the way down.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was my fix. That was the fix I had.
that was yeah. Just come on over to IG. If you guys are hearing a echo, come on over to IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Sorry about that, but we only can do one, right?
But we will have the video for us. Hopefully, we can save the live from IG.
Yeah, we could definitely save the live from IG.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, great.
Enough tech, y'all. Let's get started. If you're joining live for the first time, my name is Tara, founder of Peculiar Roots, where we make amazing deluxe product for your crown. And ever so often, we have some pretty dope, cool guests. And tonight, there's no different. So I want to welcome Teacher Nairobi.
Yes. Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Thank you for having me on live. I was inclined to do this because I not only use your products, but I recommend them whenever I am recommending products. And I just feel like I've used a lot of different lock products when it comes to like beauty stores and going and buying different things. And nothing just really settles quite as well. Nothing makes my hair feel quite as moisturized. And even you can even see the moisture. Like I have so many videos. Like I just posted a video on TikTok where I wanted to really actually show people. Now I was talking about like beginner locks and how that like tips and tricks. But I really wanted to like show people like, I know my hair is not done right now, but it's very moisturized. And that was like my biggest thing. Like you can literally see the moisture when you put it in. So I'm literally so happy that I'm able to work with you and share these beautiful products to people who are in need like myself.
I'm so happy. And if you guys aren't aware, you're actually telling her that before, saying she's one of our only brand ambassador at the moment, because that's something we kind of did away with. After a while, brands is super hard working with influencers, because they're working with multiple brands and then it's not real. And what we pride ourselves on is real reviews, real customers. And I feel like you always put out authentic content. And that's one of the reasons I actually wanted to have you on here, because our brand is all about embracing your uniqueness and staying true to yourself. And I think you do such a great job with that. And oftentimes we all have difficulties, every single one of us. And I know we spoke about like even in your beginning stage, what that was like. But first, I want you to introduce yourself, give the people a special introduction of who you are, and then we're going to dive into some deep conversations.
Yes, absolutely. So I am Teacher Roby, and my name is Nairobi Cologne. I am also a teacher, of course. I teach art for middle school and elementary school. I'm also an influencer. I'm like a mini influencer. I'm almost at 500,000 on TikTok. All combined, I think my social media is Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Probably I'm close to maybe 700 or 800,000 followers, which, to me is kind of mind blowing at this point. I think I'm just very good at social media when it comes to producing content and being my authentic self. And I think that's why people gravitate towards my content, because, it can sometimes be controversial when it comes to me being non-binary or me being a teacher or even, being part of the LGBTQ community and being in education. Like people have a lot to say about those things. But one thing that you cannot say about me is that I'm inauthentic. And just by watching any of my reels, my story, my content is very lifestyle, but also like family based, fun. Like I'm just kind of a big kid and I really enjoy having fun, especially with my partner, with my family. I love to travel. And anytime I can, I will. And I like to say that I'm an opportunist. And when opportunities come my way, I grab them and I try to make sure that I make the most of them. So at the end of the day, I feel like all in all, I'm just a goofball, I'm just somebody who really likes to have a lot of fun. And I try to do it, in a way that's like respectful and in a way that's kind and caring and loving. I also come from a very loving family. And I'm just a very loving person in general. I really do not like to even engage with people who are super negative or have a negativity about them. You know, you get that vibe sometimes with people and it just don't sit right. So, you know, I'm just a very positive person. I like to, you know, see the glasses half full. And I call myself like a little mini influencer, but I'm taking my steps.
Mini stage, ma'am. Let's not downplay it. I think you passed the mini stage. And literally what you said, one of the things that gravitated me to you was your authenticity and you just sharing your story and sharing who you are, sharing who you want the world to perceive you to be and how you want the world to treat you. I think often we don't do that. We don't like let the world know this is what I want. This is what I want. This is how I want you to respect me. This is how I'm going to show up in the world. And you're going to respect that. So let's talk. There's a lot of things to uncover.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do the locks because we, you know, locks is cool and all, but let's start with the non-binary. Like explain to anyone that's listening that have never learned that term as yet. Somebody said, Donna said, I've got 82 followers on YouTube and I call myself a micro.
That's the energy. That's the energy. Okay, I need that energy.
Okay.
Yes. So to answer your question, you know, what does it mean to be non-binary? What is that? And you know, when you see a non-binary person, what does that mean for you? I'm going to start by saying that, you know, being non-binary, me, myself, I'm talking from my perspective and my perspective is mine alone. And so, you know, just take that into consideration when you're hearing me talk and thinking like, oh, well, this person said this about non-binary people. So all non-binary people must be this thing or have this. And that's not the case. So I just want to be clear about that before I give my opinion. And that's exactly what it is. It's my opinion. So, you know, me as a non-binary person, I go by they, them pronouns. A lot of people think that, that they, them is only a plural pronoun. And I'm here to tell you it is also singular. And you've known that already, because if you ever think about it, if you don't know someone's name, or let's say, for example, you see someone walking and they drop their wallet, you would say, hey, you dropped your wallet. Or if you were telling someone, hey, they dropped their wallet, right? You don't know that person's name. So they and them are singular pronouns. So I just want to kind of get that out. The other thing I'm going to say is a lot of non-binary people, we don't always go by they, them pronouns. Some non-binary people go by she, her, he, him, they, them. Like there's all kinds of pronouns that they can go by. So specifically asking people, hey, what are your pronouns? I think that should become a common practice when it comes to introducing yourself to people. Hi, my name is Nairobi. My pronouns are they, them. What are your pronouns? And I think that the world is moving in that direction, but we are definitely not there yet. I also would just like to kind of add that as a non-binary person, people who know that I'm non-binary feel like, for one, they can come and talk to me and like they're comfortable asking me questions. And I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? I love that I can be that advocate for this group of people. But you know, I'm not the end all be all or the say like the last word. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think like I can always come to Roby and Roby's going to be right about it. Like, I don't always know the answers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just learning just like you. I Googled it just like you did. And I'm making my own understanding and interpretation of whatever it is I'm reading. Yeah. And I feel like being somebody who experiences this and like literally walks in these shoes every day, it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes because people think, well, you must know, like you must know everything about the LGBTQ community since you're a part of it, right? Or you must know everything about being Spanish because you're Spanish. Like that's kind of that like stereotype that everybody deals with depending on what marginalized community you're a part of. You know what I mean? So I feel like
damn, you are wearing a lot of hats when it comes to the different categories
yeah. So when I talk about marginalized communities, I talk about being a Black person. I talk about being considered a woman. I talk about being non-binary. I talk about having locks. I talk about all these different things, all these different categories that I fall under. Being gay, you know what I mean? Like all of those have their separate identities that I cannot separate, right? They're like all in one. And there are people who are just, you know, gay. They're not Black, they're not a woman. There are people who only have locks, or like, but again, everybody has that marginalized piece to them that like that's their truth. That's the truth that they're living in. My truth is that I'm non-binary. I also do consider myself a woman because I was born a woman, and that's how people see me. I cannot get rid of that identity, no matter how hard I try. Not that I even want to, you know, I like at one point in my life before I came out to myself as non-binary, I would tell myself, you know, I do love being a woman. I would have to tell myself that because in the back of my mind, I always felt like I was not a woman and I was not a man. Literally, this has been going on since I was much younger. Like I told my dad when I was like 10 years old, like, I don't want to be a girl. I told him this and he's like, you don't know what you want to be. He tells me the story. You know what I mean? Like, and I was always a tomboy, very much so, playing in the basketball court, you know, wearing boy clothes. I wouldn't even wear a shirt at the pool up until I, you know, was like 5 years old. And the reason I really even did that is because of how uncomfortable it made other people feel. Like I would hate wearing a shirt when I was at the pool because I literally was not comfortable like that. But because my grandmother and my uncles and aunts were telling my parents, like, yo, look, my cousin's like, Roby is not capping. That's really me. I really was like that. And because other people, it made other people uncomfortable. Like, why do you have this little girl?
Wait, are y'all from New York?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. Yeah, New York.
Yeah. No, your cousin made that came out. I'm like, wait, New Yorkers
exactly.
say not capping.
Exactly.
Like that.
And you know, it's like because the adults were uncomfortable, my mom and dad were like, no, you probably should put on a shirt. And like from a very young age, I was very well aware of gender roles, what that meant for me, and I didn't want to be a part of it. You know, like, I did not want parts of that. Like, I don't want to be told that I need to be quiet or I need to sit right or I need to wear a dress to an event because I, you know, for lack of a better term, because I have a vagina between my legs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason. And then I would, you know, I listen on the radio all the time about what it means to be a woman and what it means to be a man. And I'm like, I don't really fully agree with these things. Like, so what does it mean to be a woman, right? Most people will say it means you can have a baby. It means you have a chest. It means you have a period. And those are like the basic things, right? You have to be able to bear children and, you know, your body, basically. Like, what equipment are you working with? And to me, that does not make you a woman, because women are born without being able to have children. Women are born without having a chest. There are women who are born without having that piece between their legs. There are men born with a chest. There are men born without those pieces. And it's just like, to me, if we can start to wrap our mind around the concept of gender being a social construct, we will be so much further along. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a social construct, a construction that society has created to tell us, okay, this, if you are this, then you are a woman. If you have this, then you are a man. And like, you are supposed to do these certain things. And it's widely accepted, right? Like, it's widely accepted by everyone. If you see a man with a beard in a dress, you're looking like, oh, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? And like, even just the reaction of like, it's comical, because that's what we see. That's what, you know, even for me, like it even for me looks, you know, quote unquote weird, but that's something that I suppress because I know that thought is coming from a TV show or the news or something that I've watched that has shown men in dresses being either comedy, funny, like a joke, or being overly aggressive or being like out of their minds, like psychotic. And this is this is what is perpetuated on social media and on the media, any kind of media, about transgender people, non-binary people. Like, we have a mental illness, and you know, at the end of the day, I am going through some things. But I'm not mentally ill. You know, my gender and my choice in being non-binary has nothing to do with my capacity as a teacher. And I get pushback all the time.
I see it.
People are like, you shouldn't be teaching. You're grooming these kids, like saying these really outrageous, very hurtful things. not thinking or not even, caring to think what that's going to make me feel like. Really, I think the goal that they want to hurt, right? They want me to hurt because they see what I'm doing. They don't like what I'm doing. They see it as a problem, right? They don't want their kids to come home to them and be like, oh, mom, I want to be non-binary. They don't want their son coming home saying, oh, I want to get my nails painted. But I think that that's a bigger issue with the parent, not the child. And I also feel like, I'm rambling here, but this is the last thing I'm gonna say.
You're good.
I feel like, if we were more open with our kids, if we were more open in general, obviously we will be way further along. But just because parents are closed off to that idea does not mean that life is not moving on without them. Like there are a lot of kids who are dealing with mental health issues right now because they're either a part of the LGBTQ community or associate with the LGBTQ community, and they're like kicked out of their houses, and those kids are going to have kids, and their kids are going to be open to that. And that's really just how we kind of move along in this world. Like I feel like, it takes generations, but that doesn't mean it's not going to change.
Yeah, it's all about the process of just educating each other, having that, like, giving each other grace during the process. I know even when we started the conversation, I was like, girl, I be fucking up when I'm talking, so I may say the wrong pronoun. I'm Jamaican. That's already like, I'm the language barrier difference, and, patois is different and all that stuff. So I'm like, I may screw up, so give me grace. And you immediately was like, no, I'm not like even like that. It's like, so just giving each other grace and learning from each other and being respectful, like along the way. Like you said, they feel threatened by your confidence and who you are.
Right.
I think that's a great and excellent point because, like I said, the confidence will soothe when you're online, when you're on your social media. It is threatening. No matter who you are, it's threatening when you know who you are. Any person that knows who they are is threatening because it means you're going to tell people how you want to be treated, how you want to show up in the world. So kudos to you for knowing who you are, staying true to who you are, and helping others along the way to learn. Because like you said, it's super new to a lot of us. Like you said, even though the concept has been around, it's been going on for a while, and you endured it as a child, it's still new to a lot of us because there's a lot of barriers, whether it's like where you live or whatever it is, the language you speak, there's a lot of barrier on how we're going to learn and conceive and, embrace each other. So thank you for being like an advocate for so many who don't have a voice.
I have to say one thing about what you said too, because I think it's important to note that like the confidence that's being exuded on social media is different than the confidence that I actually have.
Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest and let's be real here. I am a confident person, don't get me wrong, but I do also have a lot of insecurities. And, before I post a video, I'm talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, yo, babe, you think this is a good video for me to post, or what you think? Like, I am very cautious about
That's
what I'm
all of us.
Exactly.
Is my angles good?
And I feel like we're not open with that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not open with the fact that like content is hard to create. And it's hard to like post, right? Like I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's art. It's art. You've created this. You're now putting it out. If it doesn't do well, it's like a direct reflection of you. Like, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I think that, my partner is really good because she's also an influencer, and her being an influencer it always gives me somebody to talk to who understands that whole influencer world and that whole industry basically. And a lot of times she'll tell me like, what kind of influencer do you want to be? Do you want to be the type of influencer who's always going back and forth with somebody online? Do you want to be the controversial influencer who always got something to say? Or do you want to be the influencer who leads with grace? Do you want to be the influencer who leads with love, with respect? And I've noticed that, like, because I have both sides of like being a firecracker and like being like, okay, I don't care what you have to say, I'm gonna still be me. And I have the other side of like well, the fact that I'm non-binary, I understand a lot of people, it's not comfortable for some people. And just kind of being more soft and gentle in that way. But I just kind of feel like as an influencer, you have these moments of like confidence, but you also have these moments of I'm humbled right now. That video I posted that I wasted 3 hours trying to create only got 1,000 views or whatever the case is, So
That's
it's
a
like
whole nother conversation. Oh my gosh, those videos.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
videos you spend no time on.
Do the best. It's so weird. You never know.
She says, glad to see you're listening to me.
Yes, exactly. Like she knows.
Finally, right? Finally. I love
Yeah.
that. And having someone in your corner to boost confidence, to like talk to when you have your low times, because we all have those low moments where we're like, man, this sucks, or oh, I shouldn't have posted that. Maybe I should take it down, or whatever the case is. But let's talk a little bit about going back to when you had your locks. I know we talked about that offline, but you mentioned to me like this is actually your second set of locks, and I did not know that. So talk about your first set of locks and why you got rid of them and where you are now in your lock journey.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yes, this is my second set of locks. So I just want to start with that. My first set was back when I was in like 5th grade. And it was the end of the year, 5th grade year. My mom had locks. My dad had locks. My cousin had locks. So we were the lock family. I was just waiting for my sister and brother to hop on the wagon. But, my mom was saying like, because we had been having this conversation for maybe a couple of weeks before I actually sat there and was like, no, Mom, I really do want them. Because my mom was like, listen, this is not just a hairstyle. This is a lifestyle. So if you want locks, you need to be serious about it. You need to make sure that you're like, making sure your hair is, twisted. You wrap it up at night, especially for the first few weeks or months. And just like thinking, why do you want locks? What is it about locks that like, what's the reason? Because they can't just be because I have them. What's your specific reason? So as a kid, I'm doing everything I can, trying to make ends meet so that she's happy and I can get my locks, because at that time, that's all I wanted. And it was really because I did want to be like my mom and dad, like I wanted to be like them, which wasn't a bad thing. But my mom wanted to make sure that like it was for more than just that. So she ended up giving them to me. She did them herself on my head. She did box braids. I want to say that was the starter. She did box braids. And I kept them in all of summer of 5th grade. I had my locks. However, I was going to 6th grade. I was going to a new school, and I was very nervous about how I was going to be perceived with my locks, which if I had a reason, from the very beginning, I probably wouldn't have cared. But my mom and dad, my mom was like, I'm not, like, she was giving me pushback. Like, are you sure? Because I came to her, I'm like, Mom, I'm really scared. I don't know how people are going to look at me. I'm nervous. Like, I'm scared. I don't want them anymore. I just want to take them out. And she's, being a good mom, like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Leave it in for another day. You'll change your mind, but basically. And I told her, no, I don't want them anymore. And she slaved for 2 days straight, combing out them 6-month-old locks. Well, really 3 months. It was like 3 months. And they weren't fully locked, but they were pretty tangled up. So she spent 2 days taking my locks out. And I went to school. And I was like, the day I went to school, I was like, yo, I could have just kept my locks. Like, I could have just kept them. And I was being a baby, Like, I was literally like, I'm being such a baby. And I should have listened to my mom. I literally, in my 5th grade self, well, 6th grade at the time, was like, I should have listened to my mom. And I didn't. And from that moment, I didn't get them again until I was 16. So, 8 or so years later, 7 years later, and it was because when I went to Dominican Republic, I was talking to a Rasta there, and he was explaining to me the importance of the crown, and he was explaining to me how much it gives you energy, and how the bigger your crown is and the longer your hair is, the closer you are to the heavens. And, you know, your hair carries energy. All these different, he was giving me a lot of information. And that was the indicator to me. That was my sign to be like, you know what, this is what I want. And nobody's going to tell me anything. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if I go to school and everybody tells me they hate it. I don't care what happens. I'm keeping my locks. Nobody's telling me anything because of him. And when I got them, I got a lot of pushback. My grandmother, who is a diehard Dominican, she likes that straight hair. She's very like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, she has that whitewash, you know, of like, she white supremacy is her standard, or white is her standard, whereas black is my standard. So she's like, why you do that to your hair? No, for real, it really is. That's my standard. Like, you know, because a lot of times,
we need to put that on a search.
no, for real. Because white is always the standard. It's always the standard. Talking white, like, and that's like something that I feel like we've been taught and we have to unlearn. Like, the standard is not, you know, corporate America having like whatever. I mean, I don't even know, because again, my standard is black, so I don't know. But when I tell you, my grandmother was not happy about me getting locks, and she's like somebody who I take her opinion very, like, it's important to me. You know, it's not the end all be all, but it's important to me. So, you know, when she didn't like them, I was just like, I don't care though, because again, it don't matter what anybody says. I am going to have my hair. I'm going to do my locks the way I want to. And I got like, not just from my grandmother, but like from my friends, from my family, from people on the street, people who will be like, what you doing with that head? Like, what's going on with that? Because I mean, you know, the first year is rough. It's like, until once you get that retwist, and then, you know, 2 months goes by, a month goes by, and you just the same as you were. You know, it's like, unless you have that fresh retwist, you know what I'm saying? It's going on 12 years.
Okay, so we probably started around the same time. So there was no example. There was no. It's cute. So that's what
exactly. Like all the styles you see
it was
now,
a struggle.
It was a struggle. People would look at, I mean, people would look at me on the train and give me a dirty look because I had my hair. And I'm just sitting here like, especially because a lot, like, I don't hate to say it. Let's be honest here. You know, if I was to say I had a type, it would be black. It would be dark skin. It would be, you know, tall, dark, and handsome.
We get it.
You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I was on the train one time with an old, an ex of mine who was very dark skinned. Like, he was just on the darker side. And, you know, we would get looks all the time, like weird looks. And this is when I had my locks. We would get these weird looks like, you know, I don't belong there, or he doesn't belong, you know, with me or whatever. And I mean, I feel like because I have my locks, I get a lot of controversial like comments and looks, whether it be good or bad. Like, you know, people talking about do you wash your hair? Do they fall out? Like, just all kinds of things that I'm
again,
just like,
you be answering them real good online, because I've seen those comments and I'm like,
right. And most of the time I'll ignore them, but like, let me call somebody out, you know. There's always that one person, or like the group of people who is like, it was just a question. And I'm like, no, it wasn't just a question, because you can find the answer to a lot of these stupid questions online. Do some research before you come to my page asking these foolish questions. And then you don't get mad at me when I give you a foolish answer. That's what you're gonna get, you know? So yeah, I would say like, back to the original of, you know, the journey of my locks. Like right now, I feel like I'm in a place.
Spicy.
Yo, my partner always says so. Right now, I feel like I'm in a place where like every maybe 2 months, I'm like, do I want to cut my hair? Do I want to make it shorter? Not cut them off. I know that like for my entire life, I want locks. but I'm also like, do I want to like spice it up and cut off the sides, or, you know, because now you can like reattach, and, you know, you can literally shave your entire head bald, grow out a couple of inches, and then get your entire head reattached. And I'm just like, that
listen. Listen.
And I just feel like locks hold energy. So I don't think that's something I would do, you know, like to cut them off and reattach them. Like if I cut them off, I cut them off. They're not going back on my head. But like people will sell their locks. Like that's a thing. Like I know in Dominican Republic, there's a guy, he literally only grows them to sell them. And I'm assuming that he has buyers, you know, all over in the States, in Dominican Republic, people who want to have locks. And his hair was so beautiful, so I'm sure that they go for like,
that's insane,
at least a couple hundred.
That's insane. I love how, okay, so let's unpack it, because I like I think our stories are so similar. When I started my life, it was literally because growing up in Jamaica, I saw so many Rastafarians, and they held the women to just this high esteem. Like whenever I was out as a little girl, it would be like, "Hi Empress, hi Queen," and I was always respected. And when I decided to get locks, I was like, I want to feel that. I want to feel that esteem. I want to feel that respect. And I was like, I just remember being treated so great. And literally when I got locks, it transitioned, like the way people treat you, like man, there was like a certain esteem to like royalty. And obviously you still have the naysayers who hate it. And my granddad hated that I had locks. He was like, what did you do to your beautiful hair? Where is it? And my granddad, like, he has white in his blood, so we got that somewhere in there. So he was again to that, like looking at that as being the standard. But when it finally grew out and everything, he accepted it. So
absolutely.
And I was like, oh my God, our stories are so similar. And then to hear that you started around the same time, but it's definitely a struggle. But one of the things that I always tell anyone starting their life journey is have a reason why. Once you have a reason why, you can always go back to that. When those days when you're bullied, because you're bullied, you're picked on, you're asked stupid, insane questions. When you're in the workplace, you're asked stupid questions. When people try to touch your hair, whatever it is.
I hate that. That is a pet peeve.
Like whatever it is, once you have that why, you can always go back to it as your standard, as your starting point, as my reason why I'm not going to slap this person for touching my hair, my reason why I'm not.
Yes.
I was about to say we're not going to Will Smith nobody for touching my hair, but whatever it is, like you're going to once you have that why, no one can change your story. No one can make like oh my God, it's the worst decision ever. Because people are just going to be. I think what it is people are threatened that you're scared of your change. When you do make a drastic, because consider a drastic change when you have locks, especially in society, and being a black woman, and navigating, and you're supposed to have this standard of beauty again. It should be straight. It should be curly.
Right.
So I love that you were true to yourself after all these years. Because 12 years, it ain't easy. Y'all, we can tell you a lot of stories. And it ain't easy. But let's talk about the glow up. Let's talk about the glow up. Can we see your locks? I can't see good.
Listen, let me first say, okay, I have not gotten a retwist and I can't tell you how long. Listen, okay, but am I mad about it? No, I'm not. Okay, I love the frizz. I love like having new growth. I actually embrace it. I didn't always embrace my new growth, but I do now. And I feel like, even my kids at work will be like, Teacher Roby, you need to do something with your hair. And I'm like, oh, you ain't know? I have locks. They're always done, honey. I wake up with my hair done. Okay, don't be mad because somebody sent me a video.
Somebody sent me a video like that saying that my locks are always done.
Yes, my hair is always done. I wake up like this.
You're in.
And I just feel like the whole thing about touching someone's hair and the fact that it's not easy, literally just like the first thing that popped up in my head was this white woman not the other day, but like a couple of months ago walks up to me and my sister eating at a restaurant and literally interrupts our meal and is like, how do you wash your hair? And I'm like,
you lying.
I'm like, first of all, that was rude. You didn't even say excuse me. Like, I'm not sitting here eating with my sister. And it's like the privilege of you just taking up that space without even having to think about saying excuse me or anything. We'll move on from that though. And like, to me, I looked at my sister and I'm like we gave each other that silent look of like, do we have time for this today? Or do we want to just like not even address it?
Oh my God.
And you know, we were both like, we ain't got time today. And I was just like, the same way you wash yours. And she just walked away. And I'm just like, yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Like, do I seem rude? Do I? Because ma'am, like, I don't care what you think of me. You just interrupted my lunch with my sister to ask me this very random question as if, you know, you like that's appropriate.
I can't believe people are that like, no, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
That's not the only one. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, I can't believe it, but I can believe it. My mom said, even at the airport, yeah, like they know, like every time I'm at the airport, I feel like I might as well just like be naked.
No, seriously.
If I have my hair up in a bun, it's like, take it down. If I have my hair down, it's like, I still need to pat you down. And
they have to put their hands all in and through.
No, you can't rub my hair. Did you just change your gloves? No.
Right.
It's just a lot that we have to deal with, and I think the more we talk about it, the more we're normalizing it. And even we had a situation. I think it was like less than a week ago, where a young man was trying to graduate, and he was told he can't graduate yet again.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was not like the standard, and you know, everyone started to advocate for him. We were calling, we were emailing, and one thing I love about this brand is that we have so many people advocating for us that don't have blocks.
Right.
And so I know, like, I saw like comments from like people in highest team who know people, and they were like, we're on top of this, we're reaching out to next, we're doing this, we're doing that, and I was like, wow, like
yeah,
that wouldn't have happened if we didn't speak up, if we didn't say this is how we're feeling. Like,
right.
Whenever the brand, people are always appalled when I'm like, hey, there's no products for locks. That's why we exist. Did you know that people are using these for their hair? Did you know people are using toxic chemicals to wash your hair? Because there was nothing for us until we this. It was like, at first it was like, oh, you're kidding me, right? And then when
but it's really like that.
Right? When you're like, no, people are using dishwashing liquid because there's nothing for us. And you're like,
yep.
And so normalizing these type of conversation gets the information out there and gets more people with higher power who are making decisions to advocate on our behalf because they see
right. And I feel like your brand does a really good job of like making everyone know that it is inclusive. It's not just about you have locks. Everyone can use these products. Everyone can benefit. And I just feel like there are brands who, you know, they have products and it is, you know, solely for locks, or even if it's not, and you can use it on, you know, natural, regular curly hair or anything other than locks. It's not focused on that. I feel like your focus is everyone. Your focus is being inclusive. And I think that's one of the reasons why you have such a powerful fan base and why, you know, it's steady. Like, it's a slow and steady increase as the years go on. And I feel like, you know, when we first started working together, you had less than what you do right now. And like the more
I was a micro influencer, girl.
Listen, I'm telling you. At the end of the day, like your brand is beautiful.
That was like maybe a couple thousand.
Yeah, and that's my thing is like the other thing that I was gonna say. I love the fact that she does. She tries to steal my stuff all the time.
I was about to say.
No, but what I was gonna say was that it's the fact that you have everything you might need, from a brush to a shower cap to a hair tie to a bonnet to a spray
We
to
just
a
need
oil
eggs now.
to
We
a
just need, like,
literally everything. And not only do you have everything, but you have it in different flavors. That is what I love. I literally love that. Because
did you miss out on our
strawberry oil?
I didn't get the strawberry. The last one I got was the aloe. That was when you just dropped the aloe. And that the aloe spray I really like. Like, I really like that. And I actually use it on my girlfriend too. She has a low cut. She has a low cut, and so, like, sometimes she'll do a lot of different dyes because she's a hair colorist, and so her hair will get dry, and so your products are great for re-moisturizing even after a dye or a bleach or something like that.
And that's one of the
so
things
we love it.
You were using it because you had color treated here. So and just to revert back to that, so one thing we are big on is, when I talk about the brand, I'm always locks first. Like, I'm very unapologetic that our products are for locks, because I feel like because we've been so underserved and no one really cares about it. I'm very unapologetic about that. But yes, our products can be used for everyone. And what I love is if a mom buys it that has locks, she doesn't have to buy something else for her kids or for her husband, because we have all the things.
Right.
But I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And saying that really affirms a lot of things. And just for you from as an influencer, starting out and trusting our brand from day one, when we had no followers, it just shows that, one, the power of support, whether it's from you as an influencer or from our tribe, it does go a long way, right? I remember when we did like the whole lock brushing, the whole lock brushing thing, and it was like a wave of what are they doing? This is insane.
I know.
And then it started to, like, now everyone is brushing their locks.
Yeah, it's like a thing now. Somebody was like, "Oh, you're the person who brushes their locks."
Yes, right. So it's like, now it's a thing. But that's the power we have in the community, and that's the power we have working together. And I feel like the direction we're going as a brand. Yes, we may not work with a lot of influencers, like that world is a lot going on. And I do want to be authentic to my brand and to our customers, and making them feel like it's a real brand. Sometimes it's very hard for them to now say, hey, that influencer's using it. I wonder if it's real, because tomorrow the influencer's using something else.
Right.
Right. So I appreciate you for being solid to the brand, and for just trusting us and trusting our growth, and talking about us and sharing us with your audience. That's something I don't take for granted. So as we go up, whoever's going up with us.
Okay, yes, bring me along.
So I appreciate that. I really do. And even when our team was doing this, we wanted to have several other people on. And believe it or not, a lot of people turned it down. A lot of people just did not want to do it.
Interesting.
And very interesting. Very interesting. But at the same time, I'm okay with that, because I want people to be authentic to themselves, and I would never want someone to do something and change your mind 2 days later. Like, I actually want to do it. Like, no, we create a solid brand where we're sharing information, we're building a community. For us, it's like my shirt says, I don't compete, I collaborate, and that's what I always really just collaborating. I feel like we will get further when we start sticking together. When if there's an opportunity, like, hey, reach out to that person, because this is what she does. She has really great campaigns. There's so many opportunities for all of it to eat. And I feel like you have been definitely supportive of Human Roots. So thank you for that. And our tribe sees you. Give us some love in the comment section.
Yes, thank you.
Our tribe don't play.
No, they don't. I'm reading the comments and they're like, I love Peculiar Roots, and I feel the exact same way. Like I would be in these comments if I wasn't on this live. Like, and I just feel like, yo, it's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to be a part of something so beautiful. It's a pleasure to have the floor, and like even just the fact that you are a Jamaican woman who started this brand and is having a non-binary influencer on your platform. I just think it speaks volumes, and I think that like it is literally like that is the brand. And I think it's like you're very open and you're very caring of like whoever's using these products. Like that's why you made them. You want people who use them to benefit, right? And like to be able to get as much as possible out of these products. And yeah, overall, I just really love to be. I'm so glad that I'm a part of this. Like, and I tell my manager that as well. Like, I'll let her know. Like, I really love Peculiar Roots. Like, I love the brand. I love the products. I love the person running the brand. I love everything about this brand. And
you're not gonna be doing no emotional stuff, Teacher Roby.
It's like it's just a vibe. It's just a vibe that you've given off to me from the very beginning, and it's been like very warm, very loving, you know. And it's like it's like I can't really put my finger on it, but all I know is like from the beginning I knew like I wanted to be on this. Like I wanted to make sure that I put this in my, you know, in my bio, that people can also benefit from this. Because people ask me all the time, how do you have, like, why do your locks look the way that they do? How did you get this color? How are they so healthy? And I want to share the love. I ain't gatekeeping over here. Okay, here, get the product. Here's the link. Take it. So
no,
that's
I love that. I love that. And like what you said, like for me, it's always just learning. Like I'm really about. I love Peculiar people. Like the brand ain't made Peculiar. Like I love Peculiar. I love people. Like really know who they are. That's attractive to me. Like when you know who you are, and you're like standing that. I remember like starting this brand and coming on here. And I think one day I slipped up and I was speaking Patois. And keep talking like that. I was like, okay.
Yes.
And I started to do it like all lives. And they were like, my child was like, most of the times we don't understand what you're saying, but it sounds good.
Right.
And keep talking like that. So eventually they start understanding and they're repeating me. And like even sometimes I see comments and it's like, hey Tara, and I'm like, you know it's just not me like these DMs. I'm not answering these emails. Like we have other
I don't think they know. I think they think it's you.
Right. We have other team members.
Right.
You guys are, Tara, can you do this? And I'm like, but my team understands that it's a family thing. Like,
that's right.
For me, it's not a transaction. Like, I literally care about how the product works, and that's even like working with you, like how was the product. And I remember the first time you hit me up, and you was like, oh my god, like this smells legit. Like it's, oh my god, the rose.
I was so excited. I was so excited.
Okay. Welcome to the addiction, girl. But
yeah, seriously.
All for us, like you know, authentic, like customer reviews, and like you being really happy about the result. It's not just like if it should not working, like we're gonna fix it. Like we really want to,
right? No, because she really got the real like full effect of how hype I was. She was there.
And Laura asked about it. She said it would be cool if we had a color treatment line. We actually do rose shampoo and conditioner is for color.
Ooh, yes, I need parts.
Yes, that's why it's like that thing be melting in your.
I love Woodson. I got my friend Woodson in here. Hi, Woodson. I love you.
We're not based in Brooklyn. I am from Jamaica. Brooklyn by way of North Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah, so
all the parts.
Okay. Let's go. You are a great educator, and I'm so happy to be your coworker. I love that.
Thank you. Listen, okay, when you're a loving person, you have loving people around you. You let love into your life. That's what you need.
I love that. Y'all better give them flowers right now.
flowers.
Hey,
I mean, when your coworker could say you're great, you're great.
no, for real.
Normally, you want to leave work because you don't want to deal with the coworkers, right? You're
right.
So that is amazing.
Oh, I love that.
All the love is making me so happy.
He said all he wanted to do was
to shout you out.
Yeah, Woodson is like one of my coworkers, and we're always like competing for like social media. Like we both do TikTok, and so you know he's called Dancing Dean because he likes to dance with the kids, and you know I'm Teacher Roby, so we always going back and forth.
I love that. My kids be like another package from Peculiar Really Mom. It be your own kids.
No, for real.
Any product recommendation?
It do.
Braids. Many try to refresh sprays. They're perfect for braids. They'll make sure your hair's not going to itch. And our oils, those two combos is perfect, and you'll get a lot of whoever like you're going to attract.
It smells very good, and it also like prevents flakes, which I love. Because like my hair can get flaky, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But when I use your products, it helps a lot.
She been family. She stuck with us. What happened with that?
This was great. This was so fun. Yes.
Do this again. Do you guys have any questions for Teacher Roby before she leaves? You've been trying for so long to find products. You are in it, right? My mom said great conversation, ladies. Teacher Roby, were you not a part of the first part?
Right, you would say like ladies or lady and they. And then
my mom Jamaican, you know what she probably say? She probably back like, oh, what am I talking about? Not even know.
I'm like, she ain't even ready to even try. Listen, the older women,
she gonna be like them. Check I said,
Trinidad.
All right, Tara and them.
They ain't with it.
No, my mom is open. She just has to learn.
Right.
My mom is super old school. You can't like teach her that. My grandfather, he'd have been so confused.
No, for real. My mom and dad are honestly, they're not even old. They're like in their 50s, and they love me and accept me no matter what, of course. But they are confused by it. But like my mom, I feel like is more like she's like the other day for the first time ever, she corrected somebody who like we were in public and we were just all hanging out. And this guy came over and was saying like how much he, you know, likes my content. And then he said she, and my mom was like, they. And I was like, Mom, oh, snap.
She knows. It's just like, I think for all of us, like, it takes time. And then once you, like I said, even when our team, you know, like,
Winston is cracking me.
I don't care. Just stay in Nairobi. Like,
right. And that's some people do that too.
But like it takes time. I have the problem. Lauren's just on it tonight. You better support
because he's like anybody who got a problem with Teacher Roby got to deal with me, and that's a fact. I love him.
Fight.
Yes, we protect the tribe.
And sharing your story. So thanks for coming and sharing your story. Yeah.
Of course. It was really my pleasure, and thank you for having me. I would love to do this again. I think this was awesome. Definitely reach out to me with the video because some people were asking me if I can repost it as well on my page. And yeah, that's all I've got. I hope you enjoyed my spiel. I was doing a lot of ranting, but
no, you weren't. We got all that we needed, and this is what like our conversation. That's why I don't send conversation questions beforehand. I want to be real, authentic. I want us to be ourselves and not feel pressured into saying, "Oh, the right thing, this ain't corporate." This is literally Emily that's coming to watch this. A lot of you guys will be watching the replay. So if you're watching the replay, you have a
you have a
question, just
question, just
tag
tag
Teacher
Teacher
Roby,
Roby,
tag
tag
myself. We'll come
myself,
back
we'll
and
come back and
answer.
answer.
But this
But
was
this was
super
super
informative,
informative,
and we'll
and we'll
definitely do this
definitely do this
again.
again.
And I love
And
you
I love
guys.
you
Thanks for
guys. Thanks
tuning
for tuning
in. Have a
in. Have
great
a
day.
great.
And let them know where
Let
to
them know
check
where
you
to check you
out. Like,
out.
Yes.
hello.
I mean, everything on all my social medias is Roby Got Souls. You can even look up Teacher Roby now and I'll like pop up. But follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Roby Got Souls. On TikTok, I also have a Teacher Roby page. So please, ROBIGOTSOLES, just like how you see it wherever you see my name. Follow me on all the socials. I love y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for staying. If you made it to the end, you're amazing. You're amazing.
They did. They normally do, and we're gonna have a lot of people come for the replay because they're at work right now.
Right.
But Locked and Loaded is definitely always lit. She said, "I followed you on TikTok."
Thank you. Got to give you that follow back. Appreciate you though, and yeah, just hit me up. I'll see you guys later.
I'll see
Bye.
you. Bye.
All right, and I'm gonna hop off here too. Bye, y'all.